big corporations and businesses there always seem to win, no matter which government is in power.
Humans won't stop traveling, and reclamation is the only way to be closer to the airport right now. So will there be more coming? Absolutely. Over the next 4 or 5 years, you will have probably another 60, 70 resorts here.
Once these tea lagoons started developing at once, there will be so much of destruction, sedimentation to the reef, and which would definitely have a negative impact on our islands.
The international airport in the Maldivian capital Male provides a gateway for tourists from all over the world. They're then taken by boat to the resort islands that are just a short distance from the airport. That provides a logistical advantage, especially when storms hit. In just 15 minutes, the visitors arrive in Crossroads, a mega resort made up of 9 islands. A night in one of these bungalows cost €650. 2 years ago, this was all just water. Satellite images reveal how the artificial islands suddenly emerged in the middle of the coral reef lagoon. 2,500 palm trees were brought here from other islands. If you didn't know, you'd think it had all developed naturally. Those in charge of the project are keen to uphold that illusion.
It's still a natural island. The sand literally came from 10 minutes away from here. So ultimately, this is still how islands are formed. All the palm trees are from neighboring islands, very often because they were developing something on the island, say an airstrip or a construction.
The whole issue of artificial islands and replanted palm trees has long caught the attention of the anti-corruption NGO Transparency Maldives. Under a number of deals reached by the previous government, nearly 60 coral lagoons surrounding the capital Male were leased to investors. They are now building more and more artificial islands for tourists. This means the need for palm trees is growing, and they are in short supply, as Maldivian law states that trees mustn't be brought in from abroad.
Why are these trees being transported to the resort, not to the islands where there is no trees? There are so many islands which have been reclaimed for the purposes of expanding the land area for the people to live, and they're completely barren, like they don't have any plants, any trees.
Transparency Maldives says that tourism is given more significance than the environment. The country's Environmental Protection Agency used to assess tourism projects before they were approved, but the previous government changed that.
It's harming the environment, especially if you consider the areas closer to the capital Male. There are a lot of reclamation and island making going on. I think we should not concentrate making resorts near Male. Rather than doing that, we should be focusing on outer atolls.
6 new airports were scheduled to be built this year and next to improve access between the islands. The island of Kulhotufushi was stripped of most of its mangroves to accommodate its airport. But most of the time it stands empty, as it's not really needed. The next airport is just a 20-minute boat ride away. Activists like Adam Abdullah take to Twitter to report on the latest building projects. They're using the Twitter hashtag #SaveMaldives to speak out and engage with the authorities.
I think it's a huge risk to base our economy on just the tourism industry alone. In order for proliferation of tourism, we are destroying the very thing which our tourism industry is based on.
These coconut shells have spent 9 months soaking in the mangrove swamp to get them soft enough to gain fibres used for making rope. For 400 women on the island of Kulhotufushi, it's the only source of income, one that is now drying up. Plans are afoot to remove the island's last mangroves to make way for a building project. 70-year-old Aishad Hassan has spent most of her life making rope.
Before the airport was built, the community was asked if we wanted to keep the mangroves, and everyone said yes.
The politicians simply ignored the residents' wishes. That's a problem people on the island of Goradu have been complaining about for 15 years now. Their standoff with the authorities concerns this channel of water. Sand is to be taken from it regularly to preserve the beaches of the resort opposite. It's standard practice in the Maldives. Residents on the island gain nothing from the resort, but sand is being taken away from them. Shazia Ali from Transparency Maldives says the island is shrinking. Trees along the coast are dying as the beach is steadily eroding. She's collecting evidence in a bid to give people here a voice. But they're fighting a powerful opponent.
The current owner is also connected very closely with some of the leaders of this country. So it would really be hard for a commoner or a small community like them, this island, to stand up and fight against them.
I hope that with the new government coming in, they would immediately stop all the resort development projects. But it's very sad that a lot of these projects are continuing.